Intense training is purposeful behavior aimed at the goal of increasing muscular size and strength. In order to train as hard as possible, you must retain a clear image of your purpose. Once your goal is sharply but realistically defined, all that remains is carrying out your plan. Don't, however, worry about your individual potential. Potential is only the expression of a possibility, something that can be assessed accurately only in retrospect. In other words, you'll never know how good you might have become unless you try. So let's get with it.
I see you out, slay you alive. One more word and you won't survive. And I'm not scared of your stolen power. See right through you anyhow. I won't soothe your pain.
A 70s bodybuilder by the name of Mike Mentzer came out with a training program called Heavy Duty. And in that training program, he pretty much explicitly tries to tell the audience, as well as he can, very articulate, very smart, that the current way of training is not beneficial. And what he said was, when you go into the gym, if you go to the average person or any bodybuilder, they pretty much try to overtrain themselves without consciously knowing that they're doing it. They'll do 3 or 4 sets, maybe even 100 reps, or maybe even like an 8-hour arm day. If you get that, you're really an OG and you understand that reference. But the point that he was trying to getting at was the way that bodybuilding is currently going and that the way it was before is unsustainable. So he came up with a new idea. Instead of doing 3 to 4 sets, just do one all-out set where you leave nothing on the table. Now, in theory, this sounds pretty easy and it seems like, why isn't everyone doing that? It makes more sense. Or you're on the opposite spectrum and you're thinking that makes absolutely no sense. But hear his reasoning. He said that if you go with one all-out set and you trigger that growth mechanism, it is way more important for you to go home and rest than it is for you to re-trigger that growth hormone. Because theoretically speaking, if you already pushed a switch or flipped the switch once, you don't have to do it again. So why are we doing 3 to 4 sets and wasting our time and overtraining when if we just did one set that took everything in us, it would pretty much do the exact same thing. So I would say for the past few weeks or so, I've been really trying to experiment with doing it. And I encourage you guys to do it too. Now, here's the thing. I still think, in my opinion, that one all-out set is still a little bit just not as beneficial. And I think it's basically not as much volume. I tried to sound smart. It's not as much volume as I wanted it to be. So what I did was I added another set on top of that. Alpha Destiny came out with a video recently, and he basically talked about the same thing, even mentioning Mike Menser in the video as well. And his theory was maybe one set could be enough, but let's do 2 sets instead. So we're not even going to do 3 or 4. We're going to do one all-out set, obviously, but we are going to do those 2 all-out sets where you're leaving nothing on the table. And I think that makes a lot more sense, and that's what I've been doing. Now, can I say with certainty that I've seen any results or seeing anything change? It's kind of inconclusive because I've only been doing it for the past few weeks, and I've only been doing it on my days, on my pull days. So I don't have enough data, and I really can't tell you guys conclusively with valid evidence that it actually works, but that's for you guys to decide. So I encourage you guys, if you are that person who trains really, really hard, but you're doing 3 to 4 sets, or you're thinking, oh man, I am really lagging on my biceps, I'm going to add another set. I'm going to encourage you and challenge you to think backwards about that. Can you do one more set with all your energy, really good technique? Is the mind to muscle connection still there throughout all of those reps, all of those sets, and everything that you're going to be doing along with that arm day besides just that exercise? I want you to think backwards, and I really want you to think, I'm going to put every single thing that I have with good form, or maybe some bad form, depending on what exercise you're doing, into this current set and the next one to prompt muscle growth. And I really want you guys to do that for at least a few months and see if something doesn't change. Make sure that you guys are still doing your warm-up sets, obviously, just to see what weight is actually going to be challenging for those 2 sets, and really, really push yourself for those 1 to 2 sets. Like I said, I cannot say conclusively that it worked for me and that I'm seeing a lot of results from it, but I can say it has definitely been a really good challenge, and it feels strangely a lot better physically and mentally only doing those 2 sets and taking them to failure with everything that I have. So I encourage you guys to try it yourself. Alright guys, I apologize for the footage not being a little bit longer. I didn't get as much footage as I wanted to as far as the leg day goes, so it just ended up being like a really short edit. But there are a few things I wanted to say. One, I wanted to get that out of the way. The other thing is there's not going to be a video next week, and that is because I have a really, really good video idea, and I kind of don't want it to be rushed like this video was. I'm literally shooting this at Thursday at 11:35, the day before you guys see this, the night before you guys see this.
and I'm still editing right now, but I really want this next video to be one of the best videos I've made, and I don't want it to feel rushed in any way, shape, or form. And this will also allow me this will also allow, dude, I can't talk. This will also give me some breathing room in between videos to not rush them as much, because doing them every week isn't a problem. I just haven't given myself enough of a buffer to give myself some leeway in case I take a day off, in case I don't have enough footage. You know, just giving myself a little bit of a cushion. If I don't have enough time, I end up doing crunch time editing or recording the day before, like right now, and I kind of just want to give myself a cushion. And I also want to make sure that I have enough time to really make the next video a really, really good video, because it's in my head, it's perfect, and I really want everything to be exactly how I have it in my head. So yeah, no video next week. I appreciate you guys. If you guys want to obviously get this, link is down below, and I will see you guys not next week but the week after that.